ReformUK has lost yet another member. Or should I say they lost a local councillor that was just elected on May 1st. The councillor was Donna Edmunds, who got elected in Hodnet in Shropshire. There's an article on the BBC here that says councillor resigns from reform after suspension, and this is some time ago that this one was written, today on Monday. Well, she wrote a post on Sunday, a long post on Twitter, and it's under her handle, Donna Rachel. I'll just read that because it's more informative than the BBC article that I have up on the screen there. Yesterday, I woke up feeling very proud to be one of Reform's 677 new councillors. This morning, I woke up to an email from @ReformUK head office advising me that I had been suspended from the party pending an investigation. So they have to find you a crime first before they can even tell you why, which that's pretty ridiculous. Why? Because I urge people here on X to lend Reform their support for the short term for Thursday's elections, even if they felt they couldn't for the long term. According to head office, this has brought the party into disrepute and damaged the interests of the party. The party wants to be some sort of little fascist little dictatorship with Mohammed Yusuf and Nigel Farage just telling everybody what to do, not even really listening and taking credit for everything. That's ridiculous. Let's be clear here. It is not me who has brought the party into disrepute. The party leadership did that when they unceremoniously ditched at Ben Habib, and again when they suspended rupertlowe, our hardest working and most popular MP, back in March. His suspension provoked a wave of resignations. Whole branches resigned as one in protest. I was tempted myself, but hoped things might improve. The atrocious press conference held a few weeks later, in which former Tory council chairs and Lib Dem councillors were paraded on stage as Reform's newest recruits, was a step too far. These were people who had already been tried and tested as councillor and had failed to bring meaningful change to their region. Many Reform supporters feared that the newcomers were only defecting to save their seats, not for any love of the party or desire for real change that Britain so desperately needs. I called my branch chair to resign my membership. He asked me to stay on as we were struggling to find candidates. Out of loyalty to the party at the local level, all good. Hardworking people who merely want to live in a country that works for them. I agreed and remained on the ballot. This campaign has been a difficult one. For every resident in my ward who supported reform, I found another who wanted an alternative, the failed Tory and vindictive Labour, but couldn't bring themselves to vote for a party who would behave so shamefully towards their own. One of my fellow reform candidates missed out on winning his seat by a mere 15 votes, another by a painful 5 votes. Those were seats on Shropshire Council we should have won, and likely would have won had the party not decided to tack its own. In posting the messages for which I have been suspended, I was merely trying to control the damage that had already been done, not by me, but by head office. I was attempting to shore up the vote in face of the widespread dismay and disillusionment, and for that I have been treated in the same way as Ben, Rupert, and so many others across the country. Suspension pending disciplinary action. The head office, you wanted a response to your email so that my views can be taken into consideration by the emergency disciplinary panel. Let this serve as that response. And these are the messages in which she was suspended over, apparently. The first one is, this is why the right always loses, because there is no strategic thinking. Rupert promises there will be an alternative report, but not on Thursday there won't. Voters this week are having to pick between Reform, Tory, and Labour. If at rupertlowe 10 and at Ben Habib 6 were thinking strategically, they'd realize that it's in their interest to have a huge body of reform counselors in place who can be persuaded to defect and carry out their change agenda once the details are in place. Instead, they are going to ensure that those counselors are stuffed full of Tory and Labour counselors. Those councils are stuffed full of Tory and Labour counselors who will block their every move. Ideals are great, but there's no point in having ideals if you can't get them enacted in real world. Ben and Rupert are ensuring the failure of the right here. And then the second post that she apparently made was, but there will be doesn't help us for all this Thursday. This election will determine the makeup of councils for the next 4 years. Councils who will be crucial in delivering change at the local level. Why would you want them stuffed with Labour and Tory councillors? And then the reply to the Luigi guy is, I'm a reform candidate. I'm waiting for Ben and Rupert to give us a real alternative. Then I'll defect. I'm far from being the only one. Well, Reform lost yet another member because it's decided that reform councillors or candidates trying to prevent people from voting for the Tories or Labour are getting chastised because they were trying to get people to vote for reform. And the reform leadership treats people like they are nothing. So she was honest in the fact that she wanted to switch once Ben and Rupert got whatever they were working on off the ground. And that's why she essentially got suspended. And so she resigned just to not have to deal with it anymore because they were going to do whatever they were going to do. They've been doing these quote-unquote suspension until investigation's done, and then it basically convinces the people to resign, and you lose yet another person, part of reform. Management, the very top, doesn't care about its actual people that it has within the party. So why would anybody have any loyalty towards the party in that case? Well, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like on the way out and consider watching another one, and have yourself a good day. Again, thank you for watching. Please consider watching another video. Like and share so the videos get traction, and I appreciate it, and have yourself a wonderful day.